pause for a moment and listen closely. Now, if you feel like something has control over you, like your thoughts aren't your own, or something is taking your energy, I want you to hear this really clearly. Nothing has power over you. What you're experiencing is not possession. It's a state of consciousness where fear, attention, and belief have been given away. And the moment that you become aware of that, you begin to take it back. You are not here to be controlled. You are here to realize what you are and to reclaim it. Now stay with me, because what I'm about to show you and share with you will bring you back into your own authority. Now, if you're listening to this, it's because you have felt some type of energy that feels as though it's not your own, and you're right, it is not your own. But I'm going to let you know how it, first of all, appeared in your life, what gave it permission to be present, and how exactly you can get rid of this, because this is not something that you want to continue to feed, and that's why you're here. Now, at some point, there was some kind of fear-based energy that happened. Now, what I mean by this is that there was something that you wanted to cover up, something that you were maybe afraid that someone would find out, or some type of other fear that was really powerful and really strong. Now, fear is the energy that is the opposite of love. Now, you might say, no, it's not. Hate is, but no. Just listen. When we love, what we are doing is we are really putting our trust into something. We are putting our love, all of our good faith, all of our good feelings into something. Now, when we fear something, just tune into that feeling of fear. Don't do it too long. But I want you to notice how immediately there's tension that rises in the body. There is immediately a feeling that comes in the body that is not pleasant compared to what we were just talking about a moment ago, this feeling of love and trust. Now, it is this energy that allows things to come in and to attach to it, because it says, oh, I'm at the same resonance as that, so I can come and hang out here. And as we allow these things to be present in us, let me give you some examples. So let's say that you had some addiction that you have been dealing with here, but you don't want that addiction to be exposed. So you've been secretly in the dark dealing with this addiction. Well, what happens is these entities, these low vibrational energies, attach themselves to it because we've essentially invited them in. How did we do that? Because what happens if you're addicted to something and you're hiding it? The only reason that you would be hiding it is because of shame or guilt. Oh, I don't want people to know this. Oh, I feel guilty. Oh, I feel shameful. And the demon, the dark energy, the low vibrational frequency says, I got you, honey. Oh man, no one is ever going to find about this. And it goes, and you allow it to be there, this guilt and this shame, this low entity energy. And it attaches and it says, I got you, honey. No, this is going to be hidden forever. No one is ever going to find out about this. And so we go on living our life, and anytime that we think about this addiction, we add even more guilt, we add even more shame to it, and it amplifies and it gets bigger. And then pretty soon we start feeling like, well, I don't even feel myself. And it's because we aren't. It's because we have allowed energy, low frequency, to attach to our auric energetic field. And rather than light, this dark energy, this heaviness, begins to take over what is meant to be us, what is meant to just be fully our light. And through this process, we begin to feel depressed, we begin to feel anxious, we begin to feel not ourselves at all, we begin to feel extremely unhappy. And this happens because of the hidden shame and the hidden guilt that we continually, daily, if we have an addiction, feed. because at some point, if you have an addiction, it comes up every single day. And so you think about it every single day. And then that guilt and that shame that's there feels so horrible, it feels so bad that we decide, oh, we better do that addiction again because it's the only thing that takes away this horrible feeling. And it does temporarily take away that horrible feeling. And then as soon as we have finished whatever this addiction is, whether it's the drink or the whatever it happens to be, all of a sudden, what comes back? That guilt, that shame, that feeling of I need to keep this hidden. And so we add to it. And so some of us, depending on what kind of addiction we have, maybe it has been years, maybe it feels as though it has been an entire lifetime that you have been trying to hide this, whatever it is, trauma that you got under there, this feeling that makes you really super uncomfortable. And so not only do we have an addiction because we have a trauma that we're trying to hide, because our addictions come up, we get this really uncomfortable feeling like, ooh, I need the smoke, I need the drink, we get this like horrible, uncomfortable feeling that says you better go and do this thing to make this feeling go away. And so we do it because temporarily we get relief, and all we're ever searching for is relief. And so we get this relief. And so we continue to do it. And we think in our subconscious mind that this must be the solution because every time I do this thing, this feeling that I had previously, it goes away. Temporarily is the issue though, right? It goes away while we're drunk. It goes away while we're high. It goes away while we're in the middle of, a sexual act or whatever it is that we're doing. And then what happens after that is that feeling of shame and that guilt of, I've done it again, comes in, and it adds and it builds. And so think about this. Let's say that you've been dealing with something like an addiction, 7-8 years. This is just my example here. Could be much longer, could be much shorter. But let's just imagine that for 7 or 8 years, you've been dealing with an addiction. And so if you've been dealing with this addiction, every single day, then that is, let's say it's 7 years, that is 2,555 times that it has come up in your life. And so this is just, a portion of your day. I'm assuming, you probably don't wake up and immediately have this addiction. Maybe it comes in later in your day, or maybe it is there. Maybe it is present the second that you wake up in the day. I'm not sure. But think about that for a second. So you've been dealing with this for 5 years. Let's say that we only thought about it one time a day. It's over 2,500 times in 7 years. But you know that you don't think about it one time a day. You know that. That if you have an addiction, you think about it possibly all day long. Let's say that it's an addiction to food. You finish eating, and what are you doing? You are thinking about what you're going to be eating next. Even when it's hours away or when it's however long away. It is a constant thought loop. And so what is happening in this process of addiction is that all this beautiful divine energy, because all that is energy. That addiction is just your energy being wasted. It's being used in some area that is not benefiting yourself or humanity. And so all of that wasted energy, oh man, if you were to look at this as the light and the dark is just eating it up. It's like, oh yeah, they can't go and they can't do anything good because they don't have any energy left to go and do that thing that they're supposed to do. They came here with a purpose, but I'm going to keep them absolutely so distracted that it would be impossible for them to go and do that thing that they need to do. And this is how it works. And not only that does it keep us distracted from our, passionate pursuits and our purpose, but on top of that, it then adds these layers of shame and guilt or embarrassment or being humiliated or whatever it happens to be. It adds all of these lower frequency vibrational energies than what is meant for us. Because what is meant for us is these really high, loving, heavenly vibrations, but those lower hellish ones will keep us down in the lower hellish realms, timelines, as long as we continue to feed them. And so the only way to starve these out is to stop feeding them. So let me tell you this. If you have some kind of addiction and you feel really guilty, you feel really shameful about it, first thing I need to let you know is that you are absolutely not alone. But what our addictions will tell us is that we are. It'll show you a whole room full of people. Oh, you go into a room, there's 150 people there. None of them got the same problems as you. But this is in your mind. That's not actually the truth. Because our addictions will isolate us and tell us that we are completely alone. And why do they do this? Because it adds to the shame and it adds to the guilt. It's not because it's the truth. It's because in order for these things to survive in us, these energies to continue to be present in our life, they need food. And the food that they eat is the shame and the guilt. So I want you to tune in and I want you to ask yourself, do I have any shame or do I have any guilt? Now you know that the answer is yes. Now why? I'm going to tell you why. And in fact, I'm actually going to tell you something here right now that might help you to let this go right now. The reason that you feel shame and guilt is because you know that you are a beautiful spirit and that you're meant to be perfect. And so right now at this moment, you're feeling like you are not perfect. And because you're feeling like you're not this perfect spiritual being, there is shame and there is guilt that is attached to this. And you might look out and you might say, well, these people can do it. These people over here, they can do it too. Everybody's hiding. And this is what the demons are so good at, is hiding. They hide. But we allow them to be there. We say, no, we want this thing hidden. And it says, I got you, baby. Oh, I will keep that thing hidden for you forever. And it glams onto it and it keeps it hidden forever. And it becomes so second nature to us that we begin to feel like this is us. When the freedom that comes from not having that attached is true freedom. And then we begin to remember another piece of ourselves of, oh, that wasn't me ever at all. I can't believe I was tricked into it. But let me tell you that your guilt and your shame is telling you that you want to be made of more love. That's what it's telling you. And it's telling you, oh, I feel bad that I don't. So that in itself is telling you that you're a really good person. Because you know that you want to be more loved. So you don't need to feel shame. You don't need to feel guilty for any of that because you know what it is that you want. And you have a really good and loving heart and soul. So if there's any guilt or there's any shame that's still present here, we're going to just take a few breaths. And I want you to imagine that guilt or that shame as the energy that it is. So it's probably a very specific color. I'm not going to point you in a certain direction because it's whatever comes to your mind. But I want you to imagine the size of that energy of guilt or shame that you have in you and the color of it. You might have to close your eyes and tune in and just, what color is it? Where is it? How big is it? Okay, and then now that you have that information, you're just going to take a nice few breaths here, nice deep breaths, and you're just going to let it drain out of your body like you would water. So I want you to just imagine taking some breaths, let that energy drain out of your body. And thank it for being there because it's letting you know you're a good person and you want to do even better than you are right now. Just let it drain out. Let it keep draining out. Just keep letting it go. You're doing perfectly good. Keep going. Keep letting it go more and more. We want all of it gone, every tiny little ounce of it. So just search deep, far, and wide. Let it all drain out. Couple more breaths here. Keep letting it out. I've got you. You're doing good. 2 more. Okay, and on this last breath out, just breathe out a sigh of relief. Okay. Now, if you need longer to finish this exercise, have at it. Pause this video, come back. And if not now, I want you to put a little smile on your face and I want you to envision this beautiful, bright, white, divine light that's just made of pure, soft, gentle kindness and caring and love. And let that brilliant, bright, white light come and fill you up now. Now, this light lets you know that you're a really good human. You're a good person. And that the best is yet to come for you. And I want you to notice the freedom that is in that, and the upliftment that is in that. And this is what I mean by high vibrational energy. And when you maintain this, and when you stay in this all day long, pretty soon you're going to see your life become heavenly, because those old hellish interwoven energetic cords that were present in the past were infiltrating this heavenly energetics with their low forms and dragging you down into pits of hell now and then. But when we don't allow these to be present anymore, and we only allow ourselves to access that heavenly higher realm, then that is what we will experience. So if you have felt as though you have had some type of demonic possession in the past, let me give you an example here. Okay, they're telling me not to give you this example here, and a different one. I met a man in a park, and this man was addicted to certain substances. Now, of course, there was no judgment for this, because I myself have been addicted to substances back in the past. I was addicted to cocaine when I was younger. So I'm very compassionate and I understand. But I could see that these entities that were attached to him because of some of the drugs that he was taking. And so when I looked into this man's eyes, I spoke to him because I didn't know exactly what to say. I spoke to him in light language, and energetically I showed him and those lower entities the light, and they instantly remembered, and they instantly transformed into a new version of beneficial energy. There was nothing that needed to be done other than to show these demonic energies, entities, and remind it of, and show it fully, the love. And when they remembered, the feeling of instant relief that came was so uplifting and heavenly and wonderful and so loving. And I was able to do this because the divine told me to do it, and because I don't have any fear, because I know the love so well that I know that there is nothing for any of these lower energies, entities, to attach to me from. So I'm a perfect vessel to go and help people in this way. So I'm going to speak something to you now. If you happen to be listening to this, it's going to be very helpful to you. And I don't know what it is that's going to come out, but they're telling me this right now. Hiện em bà máy cao sẽ tổ cả mà cao khỏi cái khỏi ai ăn cái đấy ok in quý eo sơ nè bây giờ in đồ in ai chọn được cao khỏi cái xin đó đồ in chứ mà đồ ít cái cao ổn định ai thì ai đã chọn bị cả gì cả sụp cả bay cả cái đó không nghe sơn đó đâu gì cái mấy ai đâu những cái gì chọn những cái ở khỏi đó chọn cái đó dùng cái đó được chọn chọn chứ ngồi cái dọn không được thì xuống cái đó cái mấy cái trái vô cái nó bây giờ sao thôi biết còn thấy điều mấy xuống thì cái mấy khi xuống thì thế nhiều cái mấy cái không thì thôi thì cái mấy cái còn xuống thì lại còn là mấy cái đó. And I'm sealing that with a kiss. Many kisses, they said. Okay, they're telling me about the sound, the energy of the kiss actually has the energy behind it to break curses. So they are telling me you are becoming more pure, and holiness is flooding into the energetic plane, this earthly plane, it like buckets of it. And so you have received some of this right now through this transmission, which I would like to translate. I would like a translation or an interpretation of it to come through now, please. Oh. Down deeper than you know, you have been blessed beyond belief. You forget this relief is available to you at all times. And because of your forgetting, you wade through the waters as if you were drowning, as if you were stuck, as if you can't get out of the river that you are in when it is only steps away from you being able to step out and find relief. Graciousness has been granted to you, but you don't grant this graciousness to others and hold resentments and hates towards them. And this is a place where these entities can attach to you, because those hateful, resentful energies are of the lowest forms in existence. We are very thankful for you for listening and feeling guided, and for tuning into this transmission, and you will be blessed because you have been here before many, many times. Throughout the transitions that have happened on this earthly plane and this universal and galactic exploration experience, which you are having right now. Relief coming in the forms of financial abundance, counteractions to loneliness, grief, sorrow, sadness are lifted, lifting, upliftment is coming. Thank you for your sovereignty during this process and for knowing that you are one with the divine creator. You don't need a middleman. There is no separation. The perceived separation is only created by the low vibrational entities, energies in which you dabble through your unawareness, but you are now very aware. Be blessed and give blessings to others. Experiences that you have experienced in the past are not going to repeat. Don't expect them to. Expect newness. Everything coming in now is new. Thank you and bless you. Okay, and as I'm sitting here, I hear the wind chimes outside confirming everything that is coming through. So my divine ones, this is all that I have for you here today. Thank you. Half of this was channeled, half of this was from me. Immediately on this planet, shifts are happening. You are going to see it in the next week and a half, 10 days. Things are shifting really quickly. You're going to notice this really fast. And it's just getting faster and faster. The acceleration is really happening. So strap in, stay tuned, and I love you all. Thanks for tuning in here, folks, and I will see you in the next one. Take care.